that'll be all for our newspaper headlines. Over to our review. Chris, the Oracle Madoka is in the studio, looking all dashing this beautiful Easter Sunday morning. Good morning, Chris. Thank you for
Good morning,
joining us.
Chigi. Which one is dashing again? I thought that.
Why do you always
happy
wait?
Easter.
Hold on. Why do you always blush whenever I give you this compliment? Whenever I pay you compliment, just accept it. You're looking dashing.
Ha.
Just say thank you.
Thank you, Chigi.
You're welcome.
You are looking drapper and suave.
Thank you. Ooh.
And that's wonderful.
It
It is a happy Easter to our numerous
Happy Easter,
viewers across
everybody.
the globe. It's another new day. And like Chigi said, the risen Christ is the reason for the season. And we hope that the significance of Easter will play out in our lives.
Amen.
Not just political talks that we hear from all our politicians. They will say one thing now, another. I'm sorry to start this way, but we have celebrated so many Easters and we have received so many Easter messages from our politicians and leaders, but we don't find them playing out in our lives. What is the essence of Easter? It is that there is need for sacrifice. There is always need for someone, for wherever you have peace, someone is bearing the sacrifice and have the patience. Uno udodi, onye ndidi nonya. That's what my father told me. And I think he's right. But in Nigeria, where you kill me, I kill you, you touch me, I touch you, push me, I push you, it has gotten us to this level. Where we find some monarchs, traditional rulers now saying self-defense. If they kill you, kill them. And people keep quiet about this. We know what we are talking about. State of nature is what we are preaching. And when that happens, the survival of the fittest it is. And then the vulnerables, the women and the children. And some very weak men like us who are cowards, we are gone. And then only you, the strong men, we have Nigeria. But the people say Igwebike. Some of us that are cowards, that are praise singers and event makers, are also helping you to wherever you want to go. But when you eliminate us all, you will stay alone.
True.
That's what now I'm starting this day of the reason.
Something actually came to my mind
Yeah.
while we were talking. Really, it really touched me. I remember the story of the ancient Greeks, the Spartans and the Athens. Sparta was actually wiped out after some time, and they were known for their army, their strength, their great, but they didn't last long.
It didn't. It's like yesterday.
Athens is still there,
Is it?
thriving. But
As
Sparta has been wiped out of the face of the earth.
You know, when yesterday I used that word, I told it was with Charles when we were doing newspaper review. I said, it is from the house of a coward, in quotes, that they always stay to point to the house of the strong man. You see, because when history will be written, the cowards are alive. They will call the children and say, you see that place that it has been overgrown with bush?
A strong man once lived
One
there.
man strong lived there. When he was alive, nobody passes in front of his house. He will chop you alive. You do this. So with strongness, we're not getting out anything. We only reign for a fit and then we go into extinction. And you are an example of Spartan is what? Do Nigerians want to be Spartan? Spartan. Not just, we are Nigerians, we're not Spartans. And if we want to be Spartans, we soon find ourselves in extinction as
Brink
Nigeria.
of extinction.
That's a good thing. So we who have ears, let him hear.
So
That's
so
the message of our Savior. Each time he finishes, say, he who have ears, let him hear. So we go. Well, we were starting from your last retired general's homeland under siege. That is interesting. Somebody said, if you fail to take a good decision today because of sentiment, it will play out. I'm not saying anything. Some of the people who took decision in the past against one set of people to subdue them when they are saying the truth, they saw this long time. They said, let us have a mutual, find a way of federation or whatever. People, and then now what do we have? A lot of groups of tribes in Nigeria are facing, look at the Benue, look at Benue, look at Plateau. how people are being killed every day, and we are speaking from both sides of our mouth. To think that Plateau has Langtang in Plateau. When we are growing up, we know of the Langtang generals and mafia, the Langtang mafia. They had the highest number of generals in Nigerian army there. See how Plateau, that hosts Langtang, has got into. Every day, people are being wiped out of their communities, and we cannot find a solution.
The big question is why is the Middle Belt being targeted?
It's not Middle Belt. Nowhere is safe. Which one are you talking about? Middle? It's not some Middle Belt. It's just whenever it happens. They select soft spots whenever, like my father said, if you lion did not, kill or swamp on anywhere, he said there's no Agu does not exist. There's no lion. Agu will be, how lion looks for a prey. Whenever he finds he will just swap on it and that's how this thing happens. The terror in Nigeria is everywhere. Not even so. Anybody who thinks is a monopoly of any of these regions of Nigeria, as we are talking now, is making mistakes because it's going around. It's going around. What? That, in fact, which place has not tested it? Is it Edo? Is it Southeast Nigeria? Is it Southwest Ondo and all this? Do you know what the Amotekun are doing there? Is it Northeast, Northwest, North Central? Where in Nigeria that is safe? Nowhere. And we are saying, how can we, as a nation, this populace, with this power we command in Africa, cannot settle this because of sentiments? When it's convenient for us, we don't want to know who is speaking. Is he Igbo, Hausa? And we are being killed. When the terror one could come, he doesn't ask whether you're Hausa or Yoruba, Igbo, or Igala, or Fulani. Everybody is being wiped out. So why can't we come together in unity and face this fight? We have one common enemy. Terrorism, banditry, insecurity. It's wiping Nigeria out. We can't go, what is going to feed Nigeria with food insecurity is worse. Because these subsistence farmers, if they don't even have it in large quantity to sell to the market, they use it to feed themselves. Now, when you imagine the number of those low-class set of citizens that cannot even plant cassava and go and harvest it.
No, I get you, but the thing is, you think what we are going through, isn't it beyond the retired generals?
No, what I'm saying is that the retired general, there were no time they hold sway. Their decisions at that time, some people are saying some of their decisions they didn't take that time brought us to where we are. But I'm not in support of training blames, because this is early morning. The thing has hit the ceiling fan. I don't want to use the word. So if you don't even perceive the smell, you will touch your clothes and you feel it somehow. Everybody is feeling it. So it is not time to pass blame and say, when it was your turn, what did you do? Now is time. Let everybody put hand on deck to fight insecurity. Sure. It's going to... I'm not a prophet of doom.
Yeah, I had this discussion with a guest yesterday, and I asked him a question. I said, you know how there's a negative outcome? I tried to draw an analogy in a family, and they say, okay, go ask questions, and then they find out that there's an ancient agreement or an altar that is fueling that outcome. So what you do is try to, destroy that, source.
Yeah.
So I asked him, what do you think is the source of insecurity and so many things, these policies and things, economic issues in Nigeria? By the time he was done with his, submission, he said there were foreign agents that were actually hell-bent on ensuring that Nigeria doesn't work.
Exactly. I think I am getting to believe that.
Yes.
Some people, I was saying, as Nigerians, we have what you call mutual bias. You can call ourselves names, but everywhere in Nigeria you go, you find all the tribes in our market. You use market. And when I was with BBC, we do a story we call Story from the Marketplace.
Yes.
In that story, you have every part of Nigeria represented in the story. And they always come to a market. Market is the uniting force in Africa. You go there, you find a friend from the north. If they are not, the kind of trade they do. You find the Igbo man, you find the Yorubas. In the market, they have mutual agreements. And they travel around Nigeria doing their own businesses. Though when there is an issue, there's a limit to what a Nigerian can do to a fellow Nigerian, no matter that bias. But when these strange fellows have entered, how can some people chop off human heads, display it with alacrity, show no signs that they are humans? No Nigerian can do that to a fellow Nigerian. But then, I was told that it is the rat that is inside the house that went to the bush to tell the one in the bush, come on, I'm staying at home, there is meat.
You just hit the
over
nail on the head.
fire.
What
So,
are we to do with the rats that are in the house? They are our problem.
pursue the rats. Use anything, use disinfectant, use what they call it, what those people that spray things to spray. In fact, you have to breathe in, because if when you do what they call, they spray the house, that's mean when you have
Fumigation.
fumigation, they will say you stay away from that house for 1 or 2 days, or you cover your nose. Why? We need to cover our nose, breathe in for some time, fumigate Nigeria. If we don't, because we are doing sentiment and all that, we are now seeing it. Whatever we sow,
Can you
we
speak to the coalition? I'm trying to find out.
Then the 2027 obedience take stand as coalition plots article for one tenor.
Yes.
Peter Obi as VP,
As VP
to then run in 2031. There's always something you tell a woman on the bed to have your way. We are men. If I go to Aba, why are you on the chat? If I go to Abidjan, that's how when in the heat of the moment, and the woman will be at the end of the before the woman will realize, you promise a lot of promises. What of going to Aba, buy on the chat? He will not realize there was no promise. Why postponing to 2021? What for?
2031.
So 2031? What for? So there is a set of people in Nigeria who must wait. At every time they wait. I'm not part of the coalition. I'm not part of the party. But then go and I'm saying that if you want to separate fight, start from the beginning to separate push. Because once one person push the other, he will insist on pushing back. What are we talking about? It still boils down to the same thing. Do you want peace in Nigeria? Are there a set of Nigerians who have complained of marginalization and offense? Can't we go back to those Oputa panel days and have what you call the peace panel again and look at why is Nigeria? If after that panel we find out what is happening to us is fuel from external forces, we now find out who are those people. Nobody will love you more than yourself. So all this idea of all these international communities, I was reading a write-up. They don't want any strong nation like Nigeria in Africa to stand.
You see what Burkina Faso is doing currently?
So why?
The man has recorded close to 10 assassination attempts on his life.
So who are those who want to kill him? Because he want to stand up. Why can't we stand up for once? Is it what we're going to play all our lives, remain second-hand citizen, dumping ground for cricket? And then AIDS in 64 years of our independence, they were receiving AIDS from foreign countries that we can't place our hand what we do with it, only to keep us. You know how you give people who are addicted to cocaine, just to be giving them so that they will remain in that the seventh level of addiction of junkies. So the international community and the junkie nature they put Nigeria is what kept us here. I was reading yesterday in a viral video of how many strong African leaders that have been killed, and they have link to all the countries, international countries who killed them, or have a role in killing them because they want to stand for Africa. So let nobody be deceived. All the international communities want where they will dump their goods. And it's all about economy, international market economy, who controls what. And some of these people do not care about you, no matter how you cry. But it's unfortunate.
Back to the coalition, is it dead on arrival? Because they don't seem to have come to a consensus.
That is it. You see, I've used the word, I said, any juju that they go to a native doctor to do juju for you, I know you're a Christian, I'm using you, and you go there, the native doctor say, bring me intestine of a housefly. You go back home and before you get intestine of a housefly, the issue that you are looking for juju would have been over. Because to get intestine of a housefly.
It's another issue.
Now, this kind of collision they are going into with the conditions I'm seeing, it is the juju that won't work. That they've asked the client to go and get intestine of a housefly. If it works out for them, because it is a digital age where you put a housefly on a microscope, you can pick out the intestine. Well, it's all well and good. I'm talking like a Christian father who is coming from analog age. In your Gen Z, you guys can get the intestine of a housefly for a juju process. But I'm seeing this, whatever they are talking about, these coalitions, and you still see the hand of Jacob and the voice of Esau in the whole case. Because we are seeing that some people do not want the coalition to even stand. And it's natural. You don't blame them. But woe unto you, the Judases, who are being used to betray Jesus. And this is the season. We are talking about Jesus and the Judas. So some people are Judases in the coalition assembly, or in the coalition structures. And they are known. And you sit down with those people in the same table, waiting for when the people that gave them 30 shekels will come for Jesus. So, is it not all right to push the Judases away for now? Do they want to repeat the books of what happened to Jesus? What kind of coalition you have? I have most of the powerful politicians among you building coalitions, and they can't even come and swear with their life where they belong to. So who is deceiving who?
Interesting. Let me draw
Tinubu will win 2027 election.
I want to draw your attention to something.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday we talked about on the Nation, Saturday Nation, IMF recommends tight monetary policy to lower. Sorry about that. To lower Nigeria's inflation. However, fast forward to today's paper. I think on. Let me find it quickly where IMF. Sorry about that.
What is Nigeria that is choking me? There's so many issues of Nigeria.
So many issues. So I'm trying to get to. IMF made another statement. I'm trying to find. Okay, yes. It now says on the Sunday Tribune, they were saying we should tighten up our spending. Here they're saying food insecurity, high poverty rates in Nigeria, worrisome. So the question is, are they really concerned about food insecurity and high poverty when they are also saying we should tighten our, our economic spending?
Sorry, I'm seeing this joke, but I hope it's not IMF that's choking me. I just know that there's nothing you do for your girlfriend's son to call you Papa.
He keeps saying that.
Actually, there's nothing IMF and the World Bank and all those lenders and the funders and G34 and all that. There's nothing Nigeria will do for them to now suddenly start calling, because they are for their own interest. It is an unfortunate situation that Nigerians still depend on them for all our policies. How can you? It's the same thing I've always said, having a squirrel in your pocket and you are planting seeds. Nigerians should look deep. Everything we blame, we look at what are we doing to consolidate our economy so that we go to equity with
clean hands.
Yeah, I mean, go to negotiating table with something.
With something, yes.
We are beggarly as a nation. At every time, we are looking for who will pity us. I have a friend who something happened in the family. Go there, the children were saying, "Don't mind this, our papa." Every time he's looking for who will pity him, but he is the father. Let him take some decisions. And if it gets to a point where we need, but you don't start with feeling that everything is against you. We will pity you. We're depending on you.
You know what they say? When you bleed into an ocean, don't expect pity. Expect to be eaten by the sharks.
Of course. That is, you remember there's a program in Nigeria they call the Shark Tanks. I've watched it where they bring young investors to go and pitch.
Yeah.
But so Shark Tanks. Now the world is Shark Tank, economic shark. Nobody does no free meal anywhere, no best friend, no best worst enemy. You have to go there to make your way and prove your worth. All these things Nigerians are doing, I'm tired. If you don't stand up and say, we are Nigerians, well, then North will back Tinubu again in 2027. That's for the North to decide. They're free to back whoever they want to back.
Depends on who is speaking. Who is speaking?
No, but they are free to speak. Like we are here, we can back anybody want to back. I can back anybody want to back. It's not an issue. The issue is what is your backing has to do with the majority of the people. If the people are okay, one person speaking that we back or not back will not be. Let not what happened in the recent past continue in the recent future, because Nigerians are bleeding to death all over, especially under fire over mass killing. That's the shouting headline in Punch. Security chiefs under fire. I didn't see any fire on them. They keep talking and talking while Nigerians are dying. They say Bello 2G elusive 7 months after Tinubu's order. And I will tell you that a question I ask sometimes, do we really want to fight terror?
Well, we have monarchs on here. T.Y. Danji, myself, Kingsman.
What I'm saying, that's the most dangerous portion. You know why? When people have started calling for this, and if Nigeria and Bible, somebody told me, it's a funny story. This is Easter. Imagine with the way Nigeria is, and we have a rule that everybody will carry arms.
All right.
Just imagine.
All right.
So, Easter, Jonathan, governors preach national cohesion. They could have preached more than that, but that's it. Happy Easter.
Absolutely. Happy Easter to you.
Chigi, and happy Easter to our numerous
thank you so much.
Listener viewers across the world.
Christy Oracle Maduka, always a pleasure. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you, Chigi. Thank you for making me blush.
My pleasure. New Day continues right after this time out. To stay with us.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.